Hey guys, Hawk here. This is going to be a quick overview of the Blaster Oculus Dawn. I'm actually going to open up a list of mods that I've written down because it is rather extensive. So, first off, we have a crossbow strife integration, and there is a Ravonix 360 tactical rail up on the top. There's a full bodywork of DevCon, epoxy sculpt, polycarbonate, PVC, spot putty, all of the essentials for making a clean integration. I've chopped down this hump right here just so that it's a little more linear, because otherwise it would have come up another probably ½ inch. I have a Black Steel Props flared magwell, as well as a Black Steel Props motor cover. There is a set of crystal clear parts, as you can see from all of these pieces, and this is set number 4 of 4, and there's also a crystal clear motor cover. Keep in mind that you can't buy these crystal clear parts normally on your own. It has a black anodized thumb screw, and this is one of those eBay ones, and it also has a clear worker extended mag release, and I've just cut out a notch in the flared magwell so that it fits perfectly. The paint job starts off with adhesive promoter, and then moves to a Rust-Oleum black primer, and then a Rust-Oleum gloss, and then a Rust-Oleum silver, and then a 2K clear coat on top of all of that. And this is the first time that I used my spray gun. I did some test pieces technically before this, but this was the first official blaster that I used my spray gun instead of buying a rattle can. There is a full set of RGB LEDs integrated into this, and I have these off for the duration of this video because they're a little bit distracting, and I have a feeling that people won't be listening to a word I'm saying, but full RGB LEDs. There's some Cherry MX green switches up here that control the modes, and these switches are the equivalent of Cherry MX blues. If you've ever heard of those are way more popular, except the greens are a heavier spring load. The blues are 40 grams and these are 80 grams. So you might be able to see the modes there. One says mode, that changes the pattern of lights. Then the middle one is speed/brightness, and that controls the speed of whatever mode you're on, or if you change the solid color, that will change the brightness. There's a switch right there that controls the LEDs, like on most of my other Strife mods. There's an integrated AAA battery holder right about here, and you will have to take the blaster apart in order to replace those batteries. However, they're LEDs and they should last a long time, so I wouldn't really worry about it. And it's running off of 3 of those. If it wasn't terribly obvious, there's an infinity mirror stock, and how I accomplish this is gone over in the build log, but basically there's a single strip of LEDs running across the entire thing, and then it is mirrored to make it look like there's an infinite number of LEDs behind it. It's 16 gauge wire throughout the entire thing. It's only partially braided. The cage is the only thing that's actually braided, and that's because of a space conservation. I wasn't expecting how many electronics, how many wires, how many things are inside of here, and fully braid the entire thing. I probably could have done it, but it would have been very, very cramped and not as easy to take apart or put back together. And considering you need to take this thing apart in order to replace the batteries, granted you won't be doing that a lot, but I just wanted to make it a little bit easier, so I didn't do the full braiding. There's a black XT60 connector. You can actually see it through the window. And there's also a graphene LiPo. That's a 2S, 65C, 130 burst, and 1000 milliamp. There's also a Dean's connector connected to the cage so that you can remove the cage if you want to do maintenance on it, or you just want to put in a different blaster, or you want to put a different cage in this blaster, so that makes it really convenient. This is running on a Generation 3 DRS cage, and it has an aluminum barrel shroud that I've come to know by, and there are 2 XP180 motors in there. There is a push button for the voltmeter right here, and that will turn on the white voltmeter in the back. There is a 21 amp Omron switch in the rev trigger, and that is very snappy and clicky. The entire thing has 3:1 marine grade adhesive lined shrink tubing throughout the entire thing, so you know that all of your connections are good and safe. There has been a trigger spring added. Now, I say this very intently because this is not a random spring that normally is done. As a matter of fact, I need to replace the one in Ethereal Fortress because this one is much better. This is a actual findable spring from McMaster that I have found that is a good trigger spring. And so this is the first blaster that I'm putting it into, but I'm going to start putting it into all of my blasters. The McMaster part number, before anyone asks, is 1986K69. And of course, like on all of my blasters, there is a little sticker right there that you can barely see, and that is a holographic black steel prop sticker, and this one is labeled number 011. So this is the 11th blaster that I have made in my nerfing career, and I am pretty happy with it and how it came out. Check out that little nubbin. Look at it. Look at it all glowy. I'm just going to cycle through some of the different modes and colors. We got solid colors. Those are basically any color that you want. Including pink. There's pink right there. And that's basically any color in the rainbow. And then you have the brightness. So you can adjust that. And I think there's like 7 different brightnesses or something. And then the different modes. I could be here all day going through all of these, but I'm just going to show you some of the interesting ones really quick. That one looks pretty cool. And the way I find my back to the fading one is this one is pretty hard to forget. This one's pretty hard to not notice. It's the seizure one. And then once you find this one, 1, 2, and you are back to the slow crossfade between all the colors. I haven't counted, but there are a lot of modes and a lot of different options in here, and you can play with these on your own if you come to acquire this, because this blaster is going to be for sale. It's up for silent auction at Endwar. If it doesn't sell, although I have a strong feeling now that it is not, that's not going to be an issue. But if it doesn't sell, I will be posting it on Etsy. But I do not hold your breath for that, because I have a feeling that this is going to sell. So it'll be up for auction at Endwar, and people will be able to see it and shoot it up a little bit. For some reason, this one actually shoots smoother than Ethereal Fortress. I'm not quite sure why, but it's although it's technically better in every single way, better than Ethereal Fortress, for some reason I like Ethereal Fortress more. That has nothing to do with, it's more comfortable, it shoots better, it has better LEDs, it has an arguably better paint job. There's just something, not to mention the stock, there's just something about Ethereal Fortress that I can't let go of, so this one will be the scapegoat, and I will sell this one instead. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching.